Hello everyone. So today we will look upon the production ready multi-agents. So since most of us are working on the agents, but when we work on the multi-agents, how to make sure that it's ready for the production deployment or it is ready for the evaluation. So in multi-agent scenario, basically the understanding on the multi-agent is there is a user who sends a prompt based upon the prompt what he has input, so it diverted to the various skill set. The skill set can be a one model or a one agent which is expertise in a certain way to answer to the query which has been put by the prompt. Now for a typical diagram what I have represented here, there is a user, then it goes to the prompt, and from the prompt it does the routing. To the routing it goes to the either skill set 1, skill set 2, or the skill set 3. Now let us take one example to showcase that how it looks like in the real life or a real example. So there is a user who questions something on the prompt, and it goes to the orchestration layer. So the orchestrator, what it does is it understands the context. So whether he is trying to query on the HR policy, whether he's querying on the finance, or whether he's querying on the travel policy. Based upon it understanding, it redirects the query to either to the HR policy, finance, or the travel. So this kind of a structure is called as a multi-agents, where multiple agents are involved, and the navigations to the respective agents happens through the orchestrator. So what are the testing component in this? So when we want to test these multi-agents, what are the important aspect what we have to consider? One is the orchestrator, another one is the skills. Orchestrator is a primary component which is very important and the entire heart of the application. So what is that we have to test it? So in the orchestrator, basically we have to test the routing capability. So in the routing capability example, when you input something as a prompt, so the routing should be able to find the context of the query, and it should be able to redirect to the right agent. Example, as we have seen, there is a HR policy, then there is a finance, then there is a travel policy. If you are querying on a travel policy, the orchestrator should not redirecting you to the a finance or a HR policy, right? So if it redirects to either of the finance or HR policy, it is going to give you the bad experience or the invalid output what you will get, right? So routing capability is the first one. Then the parameter management. So whenever we are querying, so we have to make sure that what are the parameters it is accepting, whether it is exceeding the numbers of the parameter. So initial level of the validation has to be done at the routing level. Any exceptions which occurs in terms of any bugs, so it should be able to manage. Since it's a heart of the application, uh, it should be available as a HA, so it should be always, we should make sure that it is highly available component so that it can redirect to the respective skill set. And then there should be a fault tolerance as well. Now in skills, what is that we need? So in the skills, in our case, it's a HR policies or the finance. So first, the primary thing is all the functional requirements should be met in terms of the what the customer is asking or what is the capability is looking for. Then they should be able to scale independently. Example, if the travel policy is more frequently used, probably I prefer to scale the travel policy rather than the finance or the HR policy as we have shown in the example. Exception management, success rate. So whenever we are querying, assume that the query get orchestrated and it goes to the right agent. It should be able to provide you the right amount of the response to it. It should be able to understand the user context, and it should be able to provide you the right answer. So that is a success rate. If there is a not much success rate, we have to fine tune the models, right? So success rate becomes another very important parameter. And how much time it is taking, so it is basically a performance of the individual uh, agents. So how much time it is taking and what kind of a resource it is getting utilized. So in the resource, basically we compare the CPU or RAM utilization, basically the hardware utilization, how much it is doing, so that we can efficiently manage all of these agents effectively. So what is a typical kind of a deployment which looks like for this kind of a scenario? So probably I'll be using for the AKS. So in the AKS, I will make this as an one single pod. I develop as a container and then I'll put it in the pod. These three goes in a different pod, and this all HR policy, finance, or the travel will be exposed as an API which will be integrated with the orchestrator, and based upon the input which has been fed into the system, it's redirects to the respective agents. The orchestrator can be optimized more by using the tools like Commanda, so which can help you for the orchestration purpose. And apart from that, you can have a rules engine at the orchestration to understand the what are the incoming parameter through which we can get it orchestrated. So that's all for today's session. So I will cover you much on the upcoming one. Thank you. Bye.